Okay, so we're in my car. I've got my Xtrons head unit installed. I am going to just turn it on and show you kind of how everything is working so far. So, I've got a lot of fingerprints on it. It's really smudged up. It's not very clean because I've been fooling around with it and making adjustments, doing a lot of things to get this thing set up correctly. So, first of all, I'm not starting my car, but as you can see, my gauge cluster is working correctly. I've got my mileage, got my time. I've got my mileage, I've got my time here on my instrument cluster. I do have an OBD-Link Bluetooth adapter connected to my vehicle too, so that I can share information to this Xtrons head unit. So it automatically went to Android Auto because it comes with a cable that will convert your auxiliary, your USB import, USB port here, to be able to transfer data as well. And I'm using a AA wireless Bluetooth adapter that connects to my phone. So basically that gives me wireless Android Auto. So my phone is connected to the car wirelessly through Android Auto. If I didn't want to do that, I could just plug my phone directly into this port with a regular USB cable. So I can use a regular USB plugged into my phone to get Android Auto working, but I've got this AA wireless adapter that basically makes it wireless because it charges really slow through this port. So I like to use my 12 volt charging port to keep my phone powered up while I'm driving. Anyway, so here we've got my head unit. I'm going to go back to the home screen. So on the home screen, and you know what? Let me get my light turned off here. Okay. On the home screen, we've got a bunch of different apps. There's two different layouts for this home screen. I don't like the other one, so that's why I'm using this one. I think this one's fairly clean. I downloaded this Android Auto, but I don't need it, so I'm going to get rid of it. It comes with Torque, the Torque app already preloaded. It's got things like maps. It's got things like regular Google voice searching, dash cam stuff. This right here where it says topic switching, that changes the theme. So this layout that I've got, it'll change that theme. I do have, excuse me, I do have the phone. I do have the head unit hooked up to the Wi-Fi in my house right now, so I could do things like if I wanted to, I could watch YouTube or do a Google search or whatever. But the things I really want to show you are these. So this is kind of my main screen that I have set up here. It has a radio tuner that works pretty well. I need to reset it. Sorry if it gets loud here. Let me just get to a radio station I like to listen to. Hey now, what's going on here? There we go. I like to listen to jazz while I'm driving, because traffic sucks and jazz makes that a little easier. But anyway, as you can see, I've got all this tuning available. There is a volume knob, which is super nice to have. It's also got all these hard buttons that will shortcut me to different things: home, back, navigation, your FM source, and forward and back to your next presets. So those are super cool. You can see the other options that I've got down here. This here switches between stereo and mono sound, but obviously I want to leave it on stereo. We've got FM, AM, digital sound processing, I haven't looked at search. Okay, I guess that will just continue scanning through all the radio stations. Awesome. So, as you can see, when I saved a preset, it also, sorry, it's a little hard to tell, but it gives you the RDS information. So right there, it's supposed to say Texas, Texas Jazz Radio. So, anyway, it kind of starts to save the name. I don't know what this is. I guess I accidentally saved another radio station. Anyway, all right. We've got all these options up here for RDS and everything else. So yeah, AM FM works just the way it's supposed to. My phone, I think, is connected, so all I have to do is hit Bluetooth. There's no, I wish there was a phone icon. There's not a phone icon or a phone button. It just says Bluetooth. So you tap on Bluetooth, and then it's got all your stuff here. It's going to have things like your most recent contacts, your most recent phone calls, all those. You make your phone calls through here. It's got a built-in microphone right here, so you don't need to run an external mic. My wife says that it sounds okay. I might have her call me one time and see what it sounds like, because they sell an external mic through this company, and I might pick up the external mic and run it instead. So these apps, I've got radio, which I just showed you, Bluetooth, CarPlay. This is their Android Auto Apple CarPlay launcher. It says Car Auto Play. So you push this button and it launches your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which works just like any regular old Android Auto or Apple CarPlay would. Sorry, I'm fighting a cold. We've got this OBD link. I downloaded this. This is the app for that OBD link Bluetooth adapter that I've got plugged into the car. So with that plugged into the car, I'm able to connect to, I guess I'm not connected right now. I'm able to connect to my, there we go, my OBD link interface. And once it connects, it's going to read vehicle information, connect everything, and then we've got my dashboard here. It tells me right now the car's not running, but I've got my battery voltage. I can change any one of these, and I probably will. I want to see a lot of different things, like my air-fuel ratios. All these guys are going to be able to give me readings off of the car's OBD port. So that's pretty cool. Another benefit is things like being able to do diagnostics, being able to search for trouble codes, see if there's any trouble codes and reset them. I also have Alpha OBD, and I've got a connector that allows me to get into the car's proxy menu and do a bunch of other wackadoo stuff. So anyway, so those are the main things that I like to use while I'm driving. If I swipe down from the top, because this is an Android unit, I mean, it's got, it kind of looks like a phone, right? I mean, it's got a lot of those options and settings. I've got a home button up here. I've got a back button. I can see however many windows are currently open, and I can close them. This up here will turn on and off the entire display in case you, I guess, want to go completely stealth mode. And some other things that need to be talked about are over here, we've got car information and settings. I'm also going to talk about digital sound processing. But let's talk about car info first. So in car info, this is where you're supposed to find all of your CAN bus stuff. So in my car, I've got a backup camera. It's a 2018, so it came from the factory with a backup camera. It also has daytime running lights. It has settings where the doors will automatically lock themselves after you start driving. So we've got options for adjusting each one of these here. We've got options for turning on and off my daytime running lights. Maybe you can see that in the background there. See? I'm going to leave those off for right now. Anyway, this car info here, we've got our display. We can change the temperature setting. Oh, I need to change this to miles per gallon. There we go. Temperature settings, English, metric, all that stuff, right? All that seems great, except that when this unit arrived, it didn't have any of these options. I couldn't get to any of these options. You had to change the CAN type for this vehicle, and you do that here. So car info makes changes to the vehicle's built-in settings. When you go to settings, that is options for the this unit itself. So here's what we're going to do. We go into car infotainment, and then from here you scroll down to about device. When you tap on about device, then you get a little settings menu up here. You tap on that, and then there's a code you have to enter. It's different, I guess, for each unit, but mine is 8878. And now this opens up all kinds of options, I guess developer type stuff for the head unit. So under CAN type, what they sent me a CAN bus adapter, and the CAN bus adapter is designed to work with Fiat Chrysler vehicles and all that stuff. And it is a simple soft CAN bus adapter, which is this, there's different codes here, right? You've got XP, RCZ, blah, blah, blah. All of these, I guess, are CAN bus adapter codes. Simple soft is XP. So when you select XP, you see that there's all these other vehicles that show up. A ton of them. Now, you would think right here where it says Fiat All, you would think that would be the one to use, right? Apparently not. For my car, if I have Fiat All selected, it doesn't give me any of those options in that car info menu. No door locks, no daytime running lights, no nothing. I actually have to select this one right here, the Fiat Doblo, number 64. When I select the Fiat Doblo, it gives me all of those options for the daytime running lights, the door locks, etc., etc. There's some other options in here too, like when I first got the unit, it was selected right here, number 29, Jeep Cherokee 2016. And in this, it's got things like the Fiat Agea, the Fiat Doblo for 2015, Jeep Compass, all these things. And none of them would allow me to adjust the door locks. And I like the door lock feature because when you start driving, the car will lock the doors automatically. And I just like that feature. I wanted to make sure it was still going to work. So none of those vehicles gave me the option to select the door locking. So I had to select this one. I had to go through each one of these Fiat Chrysler settings. Not every single one of them, just Fiat, Chrysler, Dodge, anything that was a Stellantis family of vehicle. I went through all those to try to see which one would work and which one gave me the best options. And the Fiat Doblo gave me the best options. Now, some other settings here to be aware of. In car infotainment. Sorry, I'm going to have to use my other finger. All right. Under car infotainment, we've got things like video. If you tap on video, we've got disable video in motion. I've got that turned off. So now I can watch YouTube while I'm driving. I'm not going to do that, but, you know, I just didn't want any restrictions. The reverse assisting line and reverse warning line. Neither one of those work very well. Let me show you. Like I said, mine's a 2018, so I have a backup camera, but it came with the ParkSense rear view system, which has dynamic lines, which means if you turn the steering wheel, it kind of shows you the trajectory and everything. When I put the car in reverse, my camera does turn on. It's a great big screen, which is pretty nice. Still kind of a low resolution camera. Whatever. So yeah, it's awesome. But there's no lines available. Now then, if I go back and turn on the reversing lines, I get this. My reversing lines are kind of like up in the air. They're they're not in a great spot. I have no idea how to adjust them. I've sent an email to the company to try to find out how to adjust them. I like the dynamic lines. If I can get those back through my CAN bus proxy settings through Alpha OBD, Alpha ODB, then I'll do that. I might try that in maybe just a minute. But yeah, you can change all these different things, camera type and all that stuff. Steering wheel controls, there's this steering wheel control settings menu here. I just want to show you that the steering wheel controls work. So using the back of the steering wheel, the volume up and volume down buttons work just fine. Cruise control button turns on, and if I turn it off, it'll turn off. If I press the phone button, activates the phone menu. If I press the phone button, it'll activate the phone menu. And we've got the mute button here. If I press mute, it'll mute, of course. If I press the buttons on the back side of the steering wheel, it switches the audio source. Let me go to the radio and I'll show you. So the up and down will give me the radio stations. It'll go through my presets. If I press the round circle button on the back, it doesn't do anything. I can't seem to get it to program either one of these back round buttons to do anything, even though I've got that menu that says steering wheel controls. So for example, let's try this. If I want to set the home button as this round one in the back, I'm supposed to just tap that, and then when it's supposed to go solid. It's supposed to flash, and then it'll go solid after you've connected that button, but it doesn't do that. So I don't know. Minor nitpick. Everything else works fine. It got me exactly what I wanted, which is a bigger screen and to bring my radio into this Century, so that's pretty good. The dynamic digital sound processing is actually pretty awesome. We've got these smart bass settings that you can turn on or off, and they're highly adjustable. Your balance is adjustable throughout the vehicle. So your balance is adjustable throughout the vehicle. You can turn on and off an external amplifier if you have one hooked up. My car does have the Beats audio system. So with the Beats audio system, it has an external amplifier already built in. I'm going to talk about that before I finish, because I had to do some additional wiring in order for this thing to work. It's really just one additional wire, but it's something to be aware of. You can set up a delay so that the speaker sound travels to the right place at the right time. There's all these different... Yeah, this is way too technical for me. Filters, you can set up a high-pass filter, a low-pass filter. Unfortunately, it doesn't recognize the subwoofer. So if I use a high-pass filter or low-pass filter, it winds up eating up some of the bass. So I'm just leaving those alone. Loudness, you can turn on or off loudness. And equalizer, you've got a ton of equalizer adjustments and a few presets. And so it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a pretty cool menu. You can go to the Play Store. You can have a gallery full of photos in here. It's a pretty neat unit. And it's pretty responsive. All right, so the wiring for this, I had to... On the back of this unit, there is a power wire for a power antenna. It's labeled ANT. It's blue. That one doesn't go to anything. It's just a loose wire that isn't connected to anything because this car doesn't have a power antenna. But it does need to have 12-volt power go to the amplifier to switch it on. That's pin number 41 on the back of the ISO harness for the radio. So I had to tap that antenna wire from this radio. I tapped it into that wire 41 that supplies power to the, it's basically the turn on switch for the car's amplifier, and then it works just fine. Yeah. So that was all the wiring I had to do. I've reached out to Xtrons about some things, like the fact that I have to be a Fiat Doblo in order to make adjustments to my vehicle, and that my backup lines are all kinds of crazy. And they actually responded back to me. They gave me some options. They told me some things I could do. You're also supposed to be able to change the boot logo when this thing starts up to a bunch of different vehicle makes. It doesn't have any saved on here. I thought that it was supposed to come with a bunch, so I think that they said that they would send me a bunch of those, and yeah. And let's see, all of this works pretty well on the vehicle. Let's see what some audio sounds like here for a minute. And this is without the digital sound processing turned on. Yeah, that smart bass really kind of like makes it extra thumpy. So yeah, I think the audio quality is pretty good. I actually think it sounds better than it did with the original head unit, so there's that. Yeah, I think I'll leave those on. Maybe I'll turn off the smart bass. Nah, I'll leave it. Alright. Anyway, one thing I didn't talk about, the voice command button. If I push that, this happens. It goes to navigation. Now, I do not have a GPS antenna hooked up to the back of this unit. It comes with a GPS antenna, but I don't really ever intend to ever get a data plan for this head unit and use the navigation, use Google Maps that's built in, right? So I plan on using Android Auto for my navigation, and that's basically what I'm going to do. So I didn't install the GPS antenna. I also didn't install, there's a audio video cable that you can connect to the back so that you can feed, I guess, external audio video to the unit, and you can also feed it to other things, like if I had headrest monitors and all that. I don't need all those, so I didn't install those. So I wish that this would get me like my Google Assistant or something else, but it doesn't do that. So if I push the button, it just brings up the navigation. So that kind of stinks, but if I need to make a phone call or anything, I can use this to make a phone call, or I'm usually an Android Auto, and then if I'm an Android Auto, I can hit the microphone, or I can say, you know what, to activate Google and have it talk to me. So, all right, this is a pretty long video, so hopefully this kind of shows you some pros and cons and benefits and stuff about this. Yeah, it works pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it.